Chris Manifold. Who can you? Hey, it looks like you got lucky.
I'm pretty lucky. I mean, 10,000 this week. Yeah.
You know how you get lucky?
Work.
That's right. That's exciting. We
The
had you
harder
on
I work,
here.
the luckier I get. That's right.
That's right. Dude, I'm proud of you, man. Hey, for those that don't know you, because we might have a couple new people on here, will you just introduce yourself real quick and tell everybody how you met us?
My name's Chris Manifold. I've been with the Alliance, I think about 2 years. Very part-time for most of that. I went full-time about 3 months ago. Got introduced to the Alliance through Megan Wood. Megan is actually my girlfriend's niece. I heard the story that, she replaced her full-time income, with working 2 days a month. And that sounded interesting to me. So yeah, here I am, and had a record week last week. I think I wrote a little over 8,000 last week, and then this past week that just ended was another record week, and I wrote just over 10,000.
That's exciting, man.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Oh, great. I mean, I've learned a whole bunch, and I've been my approach has been changing and improving, on a daily basis. Who I am now and the way I approach things now is completely different. Just a couple months ago, and really even just a couple weeks ago. So
Can you give us some insight on what you mean by that? What's something you do different now than a couple months ago?
well, I used to I would get in the home and someone would be like, I'm not giving you that information. I'm not giving you my bank information. That ain't happening. You ain't doing it. If that's what we have to do, then I don't need the policy. And we won't do it. So I think I've written now at least 3 different people who've told me that. I've written apps on 3 different people. And what I used to do is, well, he says he's not going to give it to me no matter what, and I kind of take that and say, okay, well, I guess there's nothing we can do, and pack up my stuff and walk out. Well, now there's just I just fight for it. I've like, this is the right thing for you. If you need to give me this information, there's no other way that you will get this protection without that information. We can't put in an application unless we have that information. And in fact, it just happened earlier today, where I'm not really comfortable giving you that information. I'm like, well, have you ever mailed a check? You ever pay somebody with a check? All that information that you won't give to me is on that check, and you hand that out. Anytime you write somebody a check, you put it in the mailbox. It's just sitting there. All this information that you think is so private. I've had a couple of fierce conversations with a couple of clients, where they're centered around that same topic, and I just keep pushing and keep trying to understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, know that this is the right thing to do and lead them in the right way. And yeah, it really makes a difference.
Here's what I'm hearing from you, dude, is you have a sense of boldness and a sense of urgency about you. Okay? And if there's anything I can get people to understand, and I'm working on this myself, I'm working on getting better because I struggle with this. Being bold does not mean you have to be a jerk, does not mean you have to be rude, but it does mean you care enough about somebody to say, hey, wake up.
Well, that's exactly right. And one person in particular that I'm thinking of, I was in this guy's living room, pretty much almost yelling at each other in this guy's living room, and sort of the whole time amazed that his wife isn't coming in and breaking this up. But at the end of that conversation, he told me, he goes, man, I appreciate you, and I appreciate the way that you are, and that we did what we did today, because I probably wouldn't have done it if you hadn't pushed me like that. And he gave me a brochure for his church, invited me to his church, and he said he appreciated me. So it wasn't a reaction I expected, but it felt really good to to push past his objections and get him what he really needed.
Right. And I think it's huge, dude. And here's the thing: for those people that are struggling with boldness, understand that, like I said earlier, you're not being rude, you're not being a butthole. Okay, that just means you care. A lot of people won't be bold because they never learned it. They mistake boldness for being mean, or other people are mean to them, and they're like, I'm not gonna be mean, like that person's mean to me. That's not what it means. Okay. And then the second thing is, when you do start being bold, if you never have been bold before, you're probably going to mess it up and piss somebody off because it might not come across the right way. That's how you know you're on the right track. When you make somebody mad and they kick you out of the house, when you make somebody mad and they cuss you out, you're on the right track. You're learning to be bold. So it's like, this is the line, and you never cross it, and then you're like, whoa, I went over the line. Ooh, let me go back down here for the next client. You with me, Chris?
Yep.
So you're learning where that line is, which I think is incredible, dude. And in your sense of urgency.